Welcome to the Kyle and Jim Fantasy Football Extraordinaire.
How you doing?
Oh man,
It's going good.
It's going
Well, it's going okay.
Yeah.
We recorded for about an hour and then realized we didn't record for about an hour and realized we made a mistake.
We talked for an hour
Yes.
and then realized that we weren't
We
recording.
freaked up.
So yeah, we're here now.
So I'm doing a quick recap. We're all doing good. We're gonna figure out a thing for the trophy for the families. And we jumped into the Bears. We talked about the Bears. And we're just going to go over it real quick here because we already did this. Coaching staff, they didn't change anything. Offensive skill group, they drafted a lot. They traded away DJ Moore to the Bills for a second-round pick. Offensive line, their Pro Bowl center, Drew Dalman, retired. They did pick up some guys to try to replace it. Defensive front, they did very little to address that. They added a linebacker and a defensive tackle in the 5th and 6th round of the draft. Their secondary, they used their first-round pick to get Dylan Thieneman. And their special teams, they didn't do much, but their special teams is fine. So as the Bears go, let's just go over a quick, Jim, what do you think of the Bears for next year, last year comparison? And what do you think the record will be?
So the Bears didn't really get better, I think. They pretty much stayed about the same. I think last year they kind of punched above their weight class. I think everything comes down to Caleb Williams. If he takes the next step, it doesn't matter that maybe the roster's not great because the quarterback can cover a lot of holes. And if him and Ben Johnson do take it and go another level, they have a lot of good offensive weapons. They have good offensive line. They could be a 30-point team, but yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. And I think their defense is going to probably regress a little bit. The turnover differential was, I think, kind of more luck-driven than talent-driven last year. So they probably won't get as many turnovers. And overall, I think it's just going to be like a 7-8 win season. So we'll say 8-9. And I think Caleb Williams will get better, but I don't think he'll be good enough to cover up their roster deficiencies.
All right, Heebs, Bears thoughts.
Fuck the Bears. I think the Bears are going to finish 10-7, which will probably be good for third in the division.
My Bears thoughts are, I don't think Caleb Williams is very good. I think his completion percentage is terrible, and that's the most important stat for a quarterback. I know he's done things. I know he makes fantastic throws every so often.
He's done things too.
I know people love to watch him. I know he was the first overall pick. I know there's all these things where people want him to be good, but you watch him and it's like, yeah, he does like amazing things once in a while, but so often you see him do terrible things. And in my opinion, the most important stat for a quarterback should be like, how often do you complete a pass? And his is like literally like the worst in the league, or like bottom 3 in the league.
It's like half the time.
It's basically 50% of the time, which is not good.
He's a TikTok quarterback.
And not only that, but just their defense was terrible last year, all of them turnovers. And if you look historically at the NFL, like if you lead the league in turnover differential one year, are you like close to the top the next year, or are you middle of the pack, or you bottom? And it's like basically you go to middle of the pack. Like you don't keep that kind of stat. That stat never sticks from year to year. It doesn't. So I don't think their defense is going to be good enough. And without a good defense, you're just not a playoff team. Like there's a saying, it's called defense wins championships, and they don't have a defense, and they didn't do anything to address that, in my opinion. So I don't think the Bears will be that good next year. And I'm going 7 or 9. I think they're going to take last in the division.
7-10.
7-10. Oh yeah, that's right. They're going to keep adding games so the Bears get a 4,000-yard passer. Give it 2 more years. We're going 1 more game. Yeah. We'll jump into the Vikings. We kind of recorded a lot of this already, or we talked about a lot of this already, so we're gonna kind of fast forward. We do have a Vikings fan, so we'll go over it a little bit more. So Vikings, they fired the GM, went to the draft without one. We kind of discussed it. It's kind of unprecedented, but not completely unprecedented. There's obviously a chain of command. They had someone calling the draft picks. I don't know if it was Kevin O'Connell. I don't know if it was someone else, but
AI was calling their draft picks.
the AI. Well, maybe that's the new wave. Like, let the AI do it and see how it works. I'm sure there's a team that would be like, maybe I should just let an AI do it, and they might know more than I do. I mean, the big story of the Vikings is Kyler Murray. That's the story of the Vikings this offseason. They lost a bit on their defensive front. They traded away Jonathan Grenard to the Eagles right before the draft to get an extra draft pick. They didn't re-sign Javon Hargrave. He went to the Packers. So their defensive front took a little bit of a hit. But other than that, their offensive line, secondary, special teams is all pretty similar. It's mostly the story of Kyler Murray. Will he be good? Will he take the starting job? Will he not take the starting job? Jim says he might not be the automatic starter. I thought he was the automatic starter when they signed him, but
I don't understand why everyone just thinks Kyler Murray is going to be the starter here. I think a lot of people think Kyler Murray is better than he is. He's not a good quarterback in structure. He's basically someone that it's kind of like backyard football. If he has the opportunity to run around, evade the rush, throw a deep pass, but like he hasn't put in the time to be a great quarterback. It's very well documented that he has skipped on just reading the playbook. He prefers to, take care of himself first, then worry about the
Call of
team and
Duty.
things like that. Call of Duty. Yep, exactly. So talented, sure. Undersized though. Doesn't put in I think the work to be a great quarterback. I think it's a coin flip really between Murray and McCarthy. McCarthy definitely played better at the end of last season. Before that was one of the worst, starts to a career we've seen. But, so did Jared Goff, Eli Manning have that type of start too. Turned around. Not to say McCarthy will, but I'm not gonna, rule him out after one season. He's got enough talent. He's got a good arm. I think he has the right mentality. Definitely better than Murray's. So it would not shock me if he's the starter. They did bring in Jennings, who's probably a solid number 3. It gives them a really good receiving core, probably the best one in the division, maybe the second. TJ Hawkinson's still there. Christian Dursaw comes back. He's one of the best left tackles in the league. They'll probably be a solid offense. Defense is, like you said, still about the same, but they did lose Greenard. How do you say it? The way you have it spelled.
Yeah.
Greenard.
I think it's
He's a
Grenard.
pretty solid pass rusher. But they have Dallas Turner coming in. That was a draft pick of theirs a while back. So that might be a wash. But overall, I think they're going to be the worst team in the division. I'll put them at 6-11. I don't think there's enough talent across the board. I think they've kind of like the Bears punched over their weight class because some other teams in the division were injured and had a couple close wins at the end of the year. So yeah, I'll say 6-11.
6. Go ahead, Heebs. I'll talk last.
My gut instinct was 7-10.
Not far off.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they got a whole heck of a lot better than they did last year. I think they're just taking a swing with Kyler Murray. I think they're probably planning on next year. I wouldn't be surprised if they're one of the teams that trades up next year for one of the quarterbacks. Yeah, that's about all I got. Yeah, I think they're 4th, finished last in the division.
I give them more credit than I guess you guys do. I mean, I think they ended last year 9-8 with the worst quarterback play the NFL has probably ever seen. And I don't think it can get worse for their quarterback play.
Did you ever see John Marinovich play?
No, maybe not the worst that's ever been seen, but it's got to be bottom 5% that's ever been seen.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
So I'm just whether it's Kyler Murray or whether it's J.D. McCarthy having some experience and not being injured this year, I think their quarterback play will be better. I think their defense got worse. I don't think their skill positions They have the best wide receiver combo in the NFL, possibly. And I just can't see. I just can't see them only winning 6 games. Like, they won 9 games last year with not even JD McCarthy, but the backup that was there. I mean, Carson Wentz played a couple games, but then the other guy who played, he won a couple games because their defense is just like balling out and stealing wins from people.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, if your defense can win you games with whatever the fucking douchebag guy, he's not a douchebag.
Yeah, who was their third string
Their third string
quarterback?
quarterback
last year?
was so bad, though. I mean, he just like,
Who's the guy that came in
I
after
remember.
Carson Wentz got hurt?
he was playing against the Packers that one game where he just like, he like tried to run for it, and then he like kind of like stumbled forward, and he like tried to backwards pass as he was falling. It's like, there was a fumble, and the Packers took it for a touchdown. I was like, what are you doing? Why would you ever do something that dumb? But he did, but they didn't beat us that game. They did beat us the second game we played them, but I guess we were playing all our backups that game because it was kind of like that was like a pre-playoff bye, so no one was playing. But just the fact they won 9 games with that level of quarterback play, I'm gonna give them 9 wins again. I'm giving them 9-8 again next year. I just can't see them going that much lower. Just can't see it.
All right.
So that's Vikings. Getting to the Lions. This one hits close to home for one of us. The coaching staff. Drew Petzing. Is that how you pronounce it? Petzing?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was added as the offense coordinator. He was formerly the Cardinals offensive coordinator. I don't know much about him. Jim, what do you think about this one?
So, I really wanted the Miami coach for offensive coordinator.
Mike
He was definitely
McDaniel.
McDaniel. The more I thought about it after they signed Petzing, I kind of realized why they did it, and it makes a lot of sense. Yeah, he was the Cardinals offense coordinator for a couple seasons. I don't have the stats in front of me now, but when they had Kyler Murray, their offense was healthy, and they had Connor at running back. They were actually a top 10 offense in the league that season. That was like 2 years ago. I think this was his first season as the offensive coordinator. And they didn't have much talent. He is very good in the run game. I guess his offensive line, the way I don't know, I guess a lot of people like the way he does on the offensive line and in the running game, the way he calls the plays, how he has the blocking set up. He actually is close to Ben Johnson. So he comes from a similar thought process and how to process the game. And he's also our offensive line coach. Fraley and him had some time in Minnesota together, which generally the offensive line coach and the offensive coordinator work really close to each other. So those are all positive things. Seeing that he did really well with the Cardinals, who don't have a lot of talent on offense, and to get a top 10 offensive production out of them with Kyler Murray, who I said I wasn't really impressed with, was impressive to me nonetheless. But after they had a lot of injuries, that kind of fell off the last 2 seasons. But even last year, without Kyler Murray, at the end of the year, they were playing pretty well offensively. So, yeah, it was a little underwhelming at first, but the more I read into it, I was more and more impressed. He does seem to fit the Lions mindset, being like a run first offense, had the run set up the pass. And again, being that he's kind of in the same chain as Ben Johnson and Fraley, I feel like he was a real good fit overall. Yeah. As far as anything beyond that, I don't know a whole lot about him, just kind of what I read about, but I have come away impressed with his profile overall.
Okay. So you like that was really the only coaching change that I know of,
Mhm.
unless you know of something else.
No. As far as like
Yeah.
important ones, yeah.
Yeah. Offensive skill group we'll jump to. So we got David Montgomery was released.
Traded.
He's
Traded
gone
to
to the Texans
for Juice Scruggs.
for somebody. Not an
Offensive
offensive
lineman.
skill group though. So they in return they added Isaiah Pacheco from the Chiefs, who is also a running back. So lost running back, gained a running back, and they gained Teddy Bridgewater as a backup quarterback. So they have a good backup quarterback. I mean, Goff hasn't really been injury prone, but when your quarterback goes down, you need someone who can actually play.
Well, the thing too is Teddy Bridgewater got a lot of credit for JMO's resurgence. I shouldn't say resurgence, but he helped JMO a lot in the early part of his career, especially when JMO was going through a lot of struggles with getting in trouble with the league and things like that. He kind of took JMO under his wing, so he's actually really well respected in the organization. They wanted him as a backup last year, I'm sure, but they just went a different way because maybe he wanted more money. But I think they always kind of wanted Bridgewater there. He's kind of one of those like coach off the field type guys.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like Bridgewater being there. I think if we had to start him for a game or two, he'd be fine. Nothing great, but knows the offense, knows a lot of the players on the team. Training Montgomery, I think, was just a necessary evil. It's really hard to keep him with Gibbs, especially when you're going to give Gibbs probably a record-setting contract this season. They got a 4th-round pick, a 2nd-round pick at center from a couple years ago. That Scroggins guy, I don't really know a whole lot about him, but still a high draft pick. So maybe some guy that could change his career here in Detroit. It's always nice to get a body there. And yeah, they used that 4th-round pick in the draft to trade up and get some more talent. And I really liked Isaiah Pacheco as far as like a backup to Gibbs. I mean, he's probably as good as you can get. So not complaining there. That's what you kind of had to do. Other than that, everything's pretty much the same. They brought in Greg Dortch as a replacement for Khalif Raymond. He's probably not as good of a kick returner, but has more upside as a receiver. And he comes from Arizona, so he has familiarity with Petzing. But a lot of people thought Dortch was going to be like a starter for them in the past. So another guy that could be decent receiver for us. Probably won't see the field much behind Brown, Williams, and Tesla, but definitely a little bit more upside than we had with Khalif. The biggest thing though is should we go into the offense line, or do you guys want to talk a little bit about the skill positions?
No, the only comment on skill position is Pacheco replacing Montgomery is like a wash, in my opinion.
Yep.
Like you still got Gibbs. He's the guy you want to use probably as often as you possibly can. But you don't want to use him all the time because he needs to stay fresh. So Montgomery for Pacheco, not a bad switcheroo at all.
No.
Plus you get an extra player and an extra draft pick. That's
Yep.
actually fantastic for the Lions.
Yeah, I think it was a great move. I think that's what good teams do, and
Yeah.
they capitalize on its value. I can't complain about it. And then also they played Gibbs more last year than they did the years prior. So they're clearly we're moving away from kind of like a 60-40 split. They were going like an 80-20 split. So like they're just going to use Gibbs as their bell cow now. So Pacheco is just more there for short yarded situations or when he needs to give a rest to Gibbs. Where back in the day, Montgomery would get more work throughout the game. Pacheco was probably just going to be a guy that's like, okay, we're up by 2 touchdowns in the 4th. We need to just kill clock. That's when Pacheco comes in. Other than that, it's just going to be specific situations.
O-line, what do you have to say?
I mean, this is the big thing. This is where I think
This is
I
the
mean,
bread
you
and
guys heard me
butter.
talk all last year. We kind of got screwed with Ragnow going out. They didn't really have a center to, fill that role. They brought Glasgow, moved him over there, but then their guard position took a hit. They had a lot of injuries in the interior of their offense line. It pretty much killed their whole season. And then also Taylor Decker, the last 2 years has been injured and kind of ineffective. So what went from the best to second best offense line in the league was probably one of the worst last year, especially up the middle. The Packers, the Vikings, the games that we lost to them, they were able to just pressure us in the middle of the offensive line, get right into Goff's face, and it really made it hard for the team to function. It was either, quick touchdown or they would get 3-0. It was hard to watch. So the main thing they did is they brought in Cade Mays. Didn't know much about him, but he was the center for Carolina. He was brought in as a free agent, and They basically paid him $8.3 million a year, arguably the second best center in free agency. In 2 seasons, he gave up 0 sacks. He only allowed 21 pressures across 756 blocking snaps and was top 10 in pass blocking. So definitely a better pass blocker than run blocker, but that's what the Lions want anyway. And in perspective, they gave the Raiders gave Tyler Lindenbaum 81 million over 3 years at 27 million annually. So to me, getting Mays for a fraction of that is incredible. And the other big thing is they used their first round pick on Blake Miller. Again, I wasn't following the draft like I used to, wasn't following the league as much as I used to. But if I had to write up the player I wanted the Lions to draft, he pretty much is exactly what I want. I don't think he's the best tackle in the draft, but what the Lions needed is a guy who could start day one. And this guy had 54 games as a starter at Clemson. He broke a school record for career snaps. He's 6'6", 320 pounds, and pretty athletic at that, and another like really good pass blocker. And a lot of people compared him to Taylor Decker coming out. So it's kind of like you're probably seeing Taylor Decker with a younger version of him. To me, that's exactly what they needed to do going into the offseason, and they did it. They shored up their two weakest spots of their line, and they moved Penny School to left tackle, which was always, I think, the plan in the long run. So I'm pretty happy with it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, sounds like Sewell's gonna switch sides.
Yep.
On the line. And yeah, they picked up Blake Miller, and that's why they're switching in sides. But yeah, I mean, offensive line, I mean, that was kind of the Lions' problem last year. You described it well. You said everything that needed to be said. That was their weakness last year, where was their strength for the past like 2 years where they were really good.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they did what they needed to do to try to like get back to what was working and try to refortify that position, if you will. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
This wasn't good last year, and that's why we were suffering. So yeah, they did what I would have expected them to do.
I mean, the fun thing about Blake Miller is there's this podcast that does a grit index, and it's like who are the top players Lions will probably look at, and every year they probably nail like 3 or 4 players Lions draft off this thing. He was like the third player on their grit index. Like it goes off of like team captain, certain metrics that they hit. So basically everything that he hit, he was one of the top 3 players in the draft for the Lions based off of this like system that they have created. So yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. I think he's going to be starter day one. Might not be elite, but they don't need an elite guy. They already have Sewell. They just need a guy who they can trust play to play that can stay healthy. And again, 54 games as a starter. I think they said he only missed 2 practices his whole career in Clemson. That's all he's missed. No games missed, nothing. Just 2 practices. So he's kind of like an Iron Man. That's what we need over there with the injury luck we've been having lately.
Yeah, right. If we jump on the defense, then
yeah,
defensive front. They added Derek Moore with their second round to line up with Hutchinson at the edge position. And Anal Zone departed to Tampa Bay. They lost the linebacker, and they gained an edge rusher. What do you think about your defensive front?
Yeah. The big thing with them is they had a first round pick last year, Tyleek Williams, I think his name is. I can always forget it. So he's kind of going to get a lot more play this season. So you have Lee McNeil. He's coming back from an ACL injury from last year. Generally, the guys are over 300 pounds. It takes them about a year to come back from it. So I think Aleem will be closer to his normal self. And then Tyleek, he looked good in limited play time. The way they handled that position and let some guys go, I think they're showing that they really trust Tyleek, or maybe it's just a necessary evil because of cap space. But I mean, they drafted him in the first round. They must really like him. He's kind of a nose tackle, but he's got pass rush upside. And Levi Onwuzurike should be healthy, who's probably one of the better like third options at defensive tackle. And obviously, it comes down to Hutch. He's a defense player of the year, but I think they're really, they're hoping he's what he's been. They just hope that he kind of takes over games. They don't have much other talent around him other than McNeil right now. So if Aleem gets back to what he was 2 years ago, I think they'll be fine because they'll have that other pass rusher. But right now, I think they are putting a lot of faith in Derek Moore, their second round pick. He's not my favorite profile of a player. He's kind of more, he's a pass rusher, more of a or a power pass rusher, but I don't think he's like really the most athletic. I wish they would have had someone that could just like get to the quarterback right away, just some like speed demon to take advantage of Aiden Hutchinson always getting like triple teamed. But a lot of people like him. That's probably because he's from Michigan. So yeah, that I don't know what to say about Derek Moore. I don't know enough about him, but he fits the profile what the Lions want there, and hopefully he can be a lot better than the guys we had last year.
All right. Defensive secondary. So the outside in this one is Brian Branch and Kirby Joseph, who are both. I mean, it's one of the best safety tandems in the NFL. They're both dealing with injuries coming into the season, so I don't know if either one's going to be there week one, or if one or the other is going to be there week one. You might know more than me, but that's a big deal.
Yeah, that's been the big talk in the Lions fandom circles is like what's going on there. I mean, Joseph is still suffering the same injury from like week 6 last year, and he kept trying to come back and couldn't. It's some knee issue. It sounds like it's still bothering him. I mean, it could be a career ender. Who knows? You might be looking at a guy who's just dealing with a career-ending injury and is trying his best to get back. I think the Lions kind of showed they were pretty confident in them because they didn't really draft anyone in the draft, and they had multiple spots where they could have drafted a safety in this draft that people said were like really good prospects, and they passed up on them. With that said, Branch is coming back from Achilles injury. It sounds like he'll probably be back week 1. So in modern medicine, generally the guys come back from Achilles injuries like as good, if not better than before. So hopefully he's back. Joseph is definitely the more scary one. If he comes back, then yeah, that's great. That's what we need. But they did bring in Chuck Clark, who is a decent starter. So even if Joseph does come back, they'll have a good number 3. If not, he can play in Joseph's role. He's not the same type of safety. He's a run defender, and I saw he's like top 10 in run defense at the safety position and some metrics, whether go off of those or not. But I think if they were to have Brian Branch and Clark, Branch would probably play more of that free safety role. Clark would play more strong safety, and they'd probably switch things around. So, yeah, it really comes down to Joseph's health. If Joseph's healthy, the defense is going to be really good. Arnold will be back. Reed will be back. They just got to stay healthy. Other than that, they did lose Anzalone. They didn't really replace him either. So I'm wondering if they're going to probably play more 2 linebackers next year and then play more secondary players. A lot of teams are doing that the last year, and I think that's kind of what the Seahawks blueprint was. So I think the Lions are going to try to change up their defensive formations a little bit. If that's the case, I don't think really losing Anzalone is that big of a deal because I think Barnes and Campbell are both the better linebackers. But I think that's what they're trying to do. It'll be interesting to see once we get into the season if that's the case, because otherwise they're going to have Malcolm Rodriguez try to place Anzalone. He's like an undersized linebacker, and Anzalone is one of the best pass defense linebackers in the league, so that could be a little risky against some of the shiftier running backs out in the league.
Yeah, and then special teams, anything? I had nothing written
We
down.
lost Khalif. He was a Pro Bowl kick returner or punt returner, I think.
Oh, sure, you're a
I think they
returner.
split
Yep,
those
yep,
up.
yep.
But I mean, that normally goes to the guy who scores a touchdown or 2. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's good, but he's not like incredible or anything. He's not like some of the elite guys the Packers and the Lions have had over the last like 20, 30 years that you think of, like Drummond, or who's the guy you guys had in the 90s? Desmond Howard. He's not an elite guy like that where people are actually scared of him. He's consistent. Yeah, Jack Fox, Jake Bates, both good. I think Dortch, and then they brought in like a 5th rounder at receiver, Kendrick Law. I think they're going to be like competing for the kick returning spot.
Okay. Final thoughts on the Lions? Take her off, Jim.
I mean, I'm happy. I think they're still the most talented team in the division. I think it comes down to health, like it's been the last couple of years. If I had to pick what they did in the offseason, would have been fixing the offensive line. I think they did that. I don't think they really could have done it in a much better way because they didn't have a lot of money to work with. So I think they did it about as well as they could with the resources they had. I mean, you have a lot riding on Blake Miller. So if like he isn't good, that's going to be rough, and that draft pick's going to get hated for years to come. But again, I think he's going to be a good start day one. Cade Mays, I think he's going to be not right now, but I think he's going to give them what they need. So they can get back to being one of the best teams in the league just by staying healthy. I really want to see Kirby Joseph stay healthy. I think this is a top 10 defense before everyone got injured last year. If Kirby Joseph comes back healthy and everyone else stays healthy, I don't see why they can't be back there. They didn't really lose any of their impact players. They just lost some good depth. And you could say the same thing about offense. I mean, yeah, they lost Montgomery, but they went more to Gibbs last year already. Tesla in his second season, it'd be nice to see what he can do. I'm pretty much all on board. And the safeties, Sam Laporta was injured all year last year too. That was a huge loss as well. So, yeah, I'm going to go with a good build health. The Lions are going to win the division, and they're going to be, what would that be, 12-5, we'll say?
12-5, huh? Okay. What do you think, Heebs?
I don't know. I don't see Detroit winning this division next year.
But Micah Parsons on one leg is going to win the division?
No, I think it's going to be, honestly, I think it's going to be the Bears again. Hit the Lions at an 8.
Gotta get one more win there, or loss. Are they going to go over 50% or under?
It's under 9-8. They're under 50%.
Oh, I thought you said 8-8.
No, 9-8. So just over 50%.
Yeah, Lions to me. Fuck, what do I want to give them? I think they're good. I think last year they were injured, but they should be healthy again. I'm gonna go 11 wins, which puts them at 6 losses. 11-6. I think the Lions are gonna be good again next year. I don't think it's gonna be.
Are they gonna really like
last year?
Can they be the most injured team in the league 3 years in a row? Like they were like.
That's what I'm saying.
Injured
I can't see them. I can't see
Green
that
Bay
happening
did that for like five years.
Yeah, it happens, but it can't happen forever. Like they're just there's too many good players in the Lions to not fucking have at least 10 wins. And I feel also if you look at the Lions schedule, dude, they have the easiest schedule in the NFL next year. Like it's so they play like the Jets and they play the fucking they play like all the easiest. The Cardinals, they play like all the easiest teams in it. All the shittiest teams from last year.
Well, they finished 3rd in the division, so
they played 4th in the division.
4th.
Wait,
yeah, because Vikings had the tiebreaker on them.
4th in the division schedule.
They have a 4th place schedule. But based on the divisions we're playing against too, like they just projected wise, I think they have the easiest schedule in the NFL next year.
Yeah, you're gonna win like 12 games.
They were a top like 3 offense last year with a terrible offensive line.
Pull who they're playing because I want to see. Cause I'm pretty sure like if you read them out, like I feel like they have to have at least 11 wins. Because I looked at it earlier, I was like, holy fuck, the Lions have it easy this year. They just play like all the garbage teams.
Bears, Packers.
Like the schedule comes out in 5 days.
Don't count divisional games because those are 50-50, whatever. Just give me out of division.
These are the home games, then they're not division. Patriots, Saints, Giants, Jets, Bucks, Titans. Away games: Cardinals, Falcons, Bills, Panthers, Dolphins. Yeah.
Crikey, dude. That's
I might be underselling.
That's what I'm saying,
man.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's such an easy schedule.
That's
Well,
game.
yeah, I'm looking at their away games. Yeah, they're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to beat the Dolphins. They'll probably lose to the Bills.
The Bills, yeah, that's fair.
They'll beat the Panthers. They'll beat the Falcons. They'll probably beat the Vikings. They'll probably beat us. So that's 6 wins just away.
Yeah, I was saying
Well,
don't even
man,
count the
Teams in the
fucking.
NFL.
I was saying just give them 3-3 in the division as like
Giants. They'll beat the Giants for 7. They'll beat the Titans
Yeah.
for 8. They'll
The
beat
Titans-
the Jets for 9. They'll
the
beat
Jets-
the Patriots for 10. They'll
The
beat the
Patriots-
Buccaneers for 11.
the
They'll beat the
Buccaneers-
Saints for 12.
The Saints. Oh my god, dude, that's what I'm saying. Like I looked at your video, like, oh my god, you guys even play a good team this year.
I'll change my record to 13-4.
Yeah, you play like three.
13
I
and
didn't
4.
realize our schedule was that easy.
You play
13
like 3 good teams this year, and 2 of them are in the fucking division with you.
And how
He's
early
played
do we play the
twice, luckily.
Packers? The earlier we play the Packers, the better.
The earlier you play the Packers, the better.
We don't know that
License
yet.
is
That'll be
ready?
in 5 days.
Yep. So I'll bet
The
you
actual
find out
schedule
soon.
comes out on the 14th.
if we play the
Um,
Packers in the first month of the season, like in the first 6 games we play the Packers twice, I'll feel really good about it.
Oh, so you don't want Mike to do that.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
Mike is coming back from injury.
Yeah, Mike comes back.
I don't. not
Mike
afraid
comes
of
back
it.
like week 4 or so. Yeah, but you
Yeah,
guys,
he's
I was looking at
That's
this
when
schedule, I was
Mike
like,
comes back. He's going to. He's
when I looked at
fucking.
the
He's gonna
lines,
go.
like, it's the most bullshit schedule I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. Like, this is like, who were the worst team in the NFL last year? It's like, can I play all of them? And I was like, yeah, you can do that. Congrats,
That's
Lions.
at 5D chess. We go 4th in division now, so
Yeah.
we get the cake schedule.
But you never know. Like, sometimes those teams you think are going to suck are actually not that bad. So
Jets are still gonna suck.
they will, and the Browns will still
Titans.
suck. But yeah,
Actually,
besides
I don't
those
know.
two, no, the Titans might randomly be good. They are randomly good every so often. Same with like the Giants, same with the Dolphins, same with like all these other teams. Like,
for some of these teams, though.
all right, let's jump into the Packers. That's what we all came here to listen to, right? Coaching staff: Rich Bisaccia, special teams coordinator. He's gone.
Out the door.
Hip, hooray! I mean, Jim's probably sad about this, but the rest of us are happy.
Yeah, but until you got Halfley, how many defensive coordinators you're like, yes, defense coordinator just to fill in a worse coordinator.
Well,
I think
this is a special teams coordinator, and also I will say that we didn't fire him; he quit. We did not let this guy go. He quit, and that is not good. In all honesty, I'm not super happy about that. Not only he quit, but he quit after all the fucking coaches got hired. So we had to like pick up the scraps from the rest of the teams because it was like there's like the coaching hiring, bonanza, and like a week later, Bisaccia's like, yeah, I quit. Like, well, what the fuck? Now we have to hire whoever's left. That's what we did. I don't know who we hired, but
I don't know either.
special teams can't be worse, so I can't even worry that much about it. It sucks every year, and probably suck again this year. Jeff Halfley, he left. He was our defense coordinator. He's gone. That does suck. I mean, our defense.
He took his talents to South Beach.
Yeah, so he's in Miami now as the coach. But I will say, like, he was a big uptick. Not this last season, but the season before. He was a huge uptick for our defense. But I feel like last year our defense was kind of underwhelming for what we had. Like, we got Micah Parsons. And, like, the first, 4 games, our defense was fantastic. But after that, it wasn't that great. So, I don't know. I don't know if Halfley's that good. I don't know if he was as good on the mic. I mean, I love the guy. He's that kind of guy who, gets you amped up when he talks. But, I mean, well, he's not on our team. I don't quote for him being on our team. We hired Jonathan Gannon as a D coordinator. He was a coach for the Cardinals last year, but he became a coach by getting promoted to be a D coordinator, so can't complain about that. The main thing is Matt LaFleur is still our head coach. And I want to hear what you guys have to say about this, because Heebs, you were pretty pissed off in the group chat when they rehired him. So I want to hear what you have to say, because, I mean, me personally, I always wanted LaFleur to stay. I was happy that he stayed. What do you have to say about yourself, Heebs? Because you were pissed. You were pissed.
My honest opinion
You're
about
mad.
Matt LaFleur is I would love Matt LaFleur a lot better if he was just our offensive coordinator, not the head coach.
Who would you want as a head coach then?
That's a good question. I don't know. I just don't. I think I like LaFleur's offensive mind. Like I think he's on. I think he does a good job. I just don't see him as like an overall like head coach leader. Like, I kind of put like him on the same level as Mike McDaniel. Like brilliant offensive minds, but I don't know if they're necessarily head coach material.
Well, here's my thing for head coaches, especially offensive head coaches.
Yeah, I just when you look at like John Harbaugh, Kyle Shanahan, I don't know. I just don't put LaFleur in the same category as those guys. I just don't see it.
He hasn't won a Super Bowl yet, though. And if he does,
True.
You might put him in that category.
Yeah,
And
but
he's
he
been
might
close.
not be able to. That's the problem.
I mean, he might not be. That is true. That is true.
To be fair, I do like LaFleur better than I ever liked McCarthy.
My thing with the floor is like I love having an offensive coach, an offensive head coach, because like
So do I.
when you don't have an offensive head coach, the problem is like, and you get the shit with like Jim Harbaugh per se, like you have a really good season, and then your offensive coach gets taken away, your offensive coordinator gets taken away to be a head coach somewhere else, and all of a sudden you suck for a season or two. Then you get another guy in, and you get that guy who was like there for a while and not that good, then you get another guy in, and he's great, and you're great again, and then he gets taken away. When you have the offensive coach, like you have in the NFL, it seems like the offensive coaches are consistently good. Like you said, like Shanahan's there, LaFleur's there, Chiefs coach is there, Rams coach is there. Like when you have an offensive-minded coach, like you're consistently. It seems like you're just consistently good. You're consistently in the playoffs. You're there every year. Do you win it every year? Obviously, you don't. Fucking nobody does for the Patriots and the fucking Chiefs. And I feel like that kind of shit sets an unreal expectation too with how much those fucking teams have won so much. But it's like, dude, to consistently make it to the playoffs like year after year after year after year. Like LaFleur missed the playoffs one time.
Yeah.
Since he's been there, once he's missed the playoffs, and it was Aaron Rodgers last year too. Like he's made it every year with Jordan Love. He made it 2 times with Rodgers his first 2 years. Rodgers won MVP those first 2 years. Like I can't understand why anybody doesn't like LaFleur. I think he's a great coach, and I'm so fucking glad that the popular opinion after losing the Bears game didn't overrule, whatever his name is, Dealey or what's his name? Ed Policy.
Oh, Ed Policy.
So
yeah.
fucking glad Ed Policy didn't like fucking can Matt LaFleur after a fucking it was a devastating loss. I mean, that loss sucked, dude. I was so mad. I was so pissed. Like I was kind of pissed off with LaFleur too at that point, but I'm like, dude, he's had so much success. Like, don't fire a guy because we had a bad fucking playoff game and a bad end of the season too, I guess. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just happy Matt LaFleur is still here. I don't know what you think about it, Jim. Would you have been happier if Matt LaFleur was gone, or happier that Matt LaFleur stayed as a Lions fan, playing against him?
I don't know. I guess I think I've talked about it in the past, and I know Heebs just kind of. I don't think he's really that great of a leader. I think his strength is obviously he's a brilliant mind offensively, but I think he's got temper tantrums. I think he loses focus sometimes in game because of his arrogance. There's a lot of things that rub me the wrong way with LaFleur, just like how he holds himself. I think he just kind of like he's got like a douche attitude to him. So I think as like a fan of opposing team, you just kind of hate that naturally. But I don't really like him as a coach. Like obviously I don't really like the Vikings or Bears much. Ben Johnson kind of has that attitude as well. And that's one of the reasons I didn't really know if Ben Johnson would be that great of a head coach. He did pretty good year one, but I think they were kind of like riding a high a little bit, and they were kind of lucky that the Packers and Lions were so injured. But obviously, with the Vikings, I love their head coach, and I don't think he has that arrogant side to him. But they're all offensive-minded coaches. They're all kind of in that same boat. But I don't know. When it's the arrogant side, I don't like it. I don't think LaFleur is like a great head coach. I think he's a great offensive mind. So to answer the question, I don't know. I think I'm like lukewarm with it. He's a good coach generally in the regular season, but something always comes up, you know. I also think he needs to be paired up with a really strong defensive coordinator because of the lack of leadership. So Jonathan Gannon is actually a pretty good defense coordinator. He was at least with the Eagles that one season, but he only really had
Yeah,
the one
I
season as a
agree.
defense coordinator, and then he went straight to a head coach. So it'll be interesting to see what he can do because he probably has less talent on the Packers than Halfley had last year because you guys lost some decent talent. I really don't like
Yeah.
what they did at some of the spots on defense. So yeah, if Gannon's good, I think LaFleur is good with a good defensive coordinator, but I don't like LaFleur kind of as just like the overseer, kind of like what Campbell is, because Campbell's kind of got that leadership side to him.
Yeah, I was
It's a
gonna
long way
ask
to
this
say
too.
I'm like lukewarm with it.
I was gonna ask this too at the end, but like maybe I'll just ask it now. Like, do you think who's on the hotter seat this year? Campbell, Kevin O'Connell, or LaFleur? If they have a bad season. Like if Campbell doesn't make playoffs again versus LaFleur doesn't make the if LaFleur doesn't make the playoffs versus if Kevin O'Connell doesn't make the playoffs, like who's most likely to get canned?
Depends
Campbell's
upon
seat's
how the
like ice
season
cold right
goes.
now. I don't think there's any unless
You don't think so?
they're
If you guys
completely
missed the playoffs last
healthy,
year,
they missed the playoffs,
No,
and everything goes
yeah,
wrong. I think his seat's ice
yeah.
cold. He's the best coach in line
He would
this
have to
season, but-
take. He would have to take a disastrous season, I think,
or
for
just
any
like
of
he
those
lost
guys
like
to get
4
fired.
games
To be
because of
honest,
his, like aggressiveness, and they kept losing.
well,
because of
LaFleur, who's
his
made the playoffs, what 6 out of 7 seasons, he's on a hotter seat.
But he's
I
The
don't.
guy who's been around 2 out of
underwhelming in the
3.
playoffs. He's always.
But at least
I
he's
don't
making
think any.
playoffs.
I
back in
honestly,
the seasons.
I don't think. I don't think any of the NFC North teams coaches are on a hot seat. It would have to take like a 3-14 season for any of them to get fired.
I think the Packers
If I'm
missed
being
the
perfectly
playoffs
honest.
before out. 100%.
No, they just re-signed him.
Yeah, that's
Oh, yeah,
that's
so they
just
why I'm
re-signed
thinking
him.
too. Like even
Like they re-signed him, saying
Anyway, I
like
forgot about
the only way Green Bay is gonna have that shit of a
Yeah.
season.
They
is
literally
if
just
Love
in the
and a bunch of
offseason it
other
was
people are
like
gonna hurt.
yeah, the offseason was like his contract was going to be up at the end of this year,
Yeah,
but they don't like to have those lame. Generally in Green Bay, they don't like to have like the
I
lame
forgot.
duck seasons of like we're gonna sign you after your contract's over. They always like to do it beforehand, and they re-signed him for like 4 more years, saying like we ain't worried about what happened last year. We're re-signing you to be our coach for the next. They signed him for 4 years, but I mean that kind of means 3 years, I guess, because the last year is always the you fire somebody or get a new guy. But I mean, they committed to him. They committed to him, and they committed to our GM. I forget his name, but both of them got re-signed.
Probably like a year, unless you guys are like top 10 in the draft and like Love was healthy and like really regressed. Then they might fire him after 1 year. But yeah, you're right. At that point, it's McConnell. He's the only guy just because of his contract situation. He doesn't have the extension. So I guess before the contract extension on the floor, I would have said him. But yeah, it's McConnell.
You don't think Dan Campbell's hot at all, though? They missed the playoffs
No.
again?
No.
No?
yeah, I don't see it.
It would have to be kind of what I said about the Packers. Like Goff would have to be healthy, completely regress back to like his rookie season, and Dan Campbell had to lose like 4 games because he was just going wild on 4th down, which I just don't see happening.
Kind of what
It
happened
would,
last
it would
year,
just
though?
have to be like historically bad for Dan Campbell.
That's kind of what
to
happened
be
last year, though, isn't it? Isn't that the story of last
Well,
year?
their whole
last
offensive
season?
line was shot, but Goff was still a top 5 quarterback statistically. They were still playing well.
Well, yeah,
they
but
might have lost a game.
there were
or
plenty of
two,
times
just
where-
classical.
Like they had a bad season to still finish. Weren't the Lions 9-8 last year?
They're 9-8.
But
Yeah.
they had
Yeah,
everything
like
go
that,
wrong that could go wrong last season. And we're 9-8. Their whole defense,
Yeah.
secondary.
Yeah, that's
was
my
injured.
point.
Their whole offensive
Like,
line.
they
and
still
interior
finished
was
over
injured. They were on,
500,
like, their
and
fifth
they
string
were
center.
shit.
Campbell's good, man. That guy's sitting on a throne of
Okay.
ice.
Okay.
Yeah, I honestly think the NFC North, their coaches are so good. Like maybe LaFleur would be on a hot seat if Green Bay finished like 6-11 for whatever reason.
Love would have to regress. Be
Yeah,
healthy the whole year, and like you guys, end up like a top 10 pick, and Love just looks like he lost it
yeah.
for LaFleur at that point after giving him the contract. McConnell, I think
can't
if like
see that.
they end up top 10, and like the quarterback situation is just like musical chairs, they might be like, okay, it's
Yeah.
time to go with someone else. So McConnell's not like super hot, but I can see it.
All right. So we talked about the coaches from all the teams. Let's give them the offensive skill group of the Packers. So Dontavian Wicks was traded to the Eagles for a 5th and 6th round pick, a 5th round this year and a 6th round next year. And Romeo Doubs, Dobbs, Romeo Doobie. He went to the Pats. So we lost 2 of our wide receivers, but we kind of had too many wide receivers. This was kind of, I mean, the Wicks one was great. I like that one. We couldn't pay him what the Eagles were going to pay him. Dobbs, we couldn't pay him what the Eagles were going to pay him. We have Christian Watson. We have not signed him yet, actually, to a long-term deal. We still have him on that 1 year that we signed when he was injured. Jaden Reed is better than either one of these two. Christian Watson is better than either one of these two. And Jaden Reed, we actually did sign to a long-term contract.
Yeah, I just extended him.
And then we also have Golden, who I think was very good. But the problem was last year, Wicks, Dobbs, Reed, Watson were all fucking in front of him. So he just did not get the playing time they needed. Because every time he was on the field, and every time he actually got the ball, he was pretty good. But the amount of times that happened were like 15 times in a whole fucking season, which is not enough for a first round pick. So I think this is kind of a blessing in disguise. Like, we lost 2 good wide receivers. I get it, but it makes space and reps for our other wide receivers, which I think it's going to be good. I think Golden being on the field most of the time is good versus what we had last year. But I mean, we do lose a little bit of depth, which does suck. I don't know what you guys think about the offensive skill group. Running backs, we did lose our 2nd string running back. I can't remember where he went, but
Seattle.
Wilson went to Seattle, and then the 3rd string guy is currently our 2nd string guy. But we might have Marshawn Lloyd actually playing this year for the first time in 3 years since we drafted him in the 2nd round.
I'm not gonna say a word.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna jinx it.
Yeah, he'll definitely play this year. I don't know. I don't know what you guys think about the Packers skill group.
Well, I mean, it's pretty easy to say you got worse, right? Like, you lost 2 guys, didn't really replace them. I've been a big Dontavian Wicks fan for a Packer hater to like a Packer player. I mean, I liked Wicks quite a bit.
He had a drop problem last year.
And the year before.
He's got a drop problem,
yeah.
but he's got the skills. I feel like if he ever puts it together, but he might not ever. But yeah, he's definitely like a high risk, high reward type guy. Dobbs,
I
he was like
don't see him doing any damage in Philly, so
that's fine. But like I
honestly.
said, you're still getting worse. Like, you can't be getting better at receiver. Like, you didn't replace these guys with better players, right?
I mean, I think
Golden's gonna play more.
I think we gain. We lose depth, but we gain starter.
But if
skill,
Golden was that good, he would have started
if you will.
and played more games last year.
That's not how the Packers do it, though.
Yeah.
That's not how the Packers bring guys in.
If they wanted to win, they would have played him if he was good enough. That seems like coping.
I don't know. That's not how we've ever done it. That's not. Jordy Nelson didn't get it that way. The Adams didn't get it that way. Like, nobody ever comes in as a rookie in the Packers and just like.
Yeah, you also had a lot better
Is
players
the guy.
in front of them back then too. This receiving core needed
I know.
some injection.
But they would at least be the number. But they weren't even the number 2 when those guys came in. They were like the 3/4/ we came in occasionally.
Back then you had Donald Driver, you had Greg Jennings already. You had legitimate starters. You didn't have like guys that were at the top of their position. You had Romeo Dobbs, had Christian Watson, who's been pretty good, and he could be considered like a low end wide receiver one, I would say, when he's healthy. But like, even he wasn't even healthy in the beginning of the year. I don't think that's a ringing endorsement for Golden. Like, I feel like everything that could have gone wrong went wrong for Golden to prove that he was like a legitimate starter. Like, it set up perfect for him to get snaps early in the season. Didn't get him until the end, and then when he did, it was kind of a mixed bag. I don't know. I guess he had some good plays, but it was like 3 plays. I don't know. He had like the one good touchdown against the Bears. Uh, I would be very worried as a Packer fan what you guys are doing at receiver. Like I don't see I don't it doesn't make sense to me. Golden didn't seem to unless they saw stuff in practice, but then why didn't he start or play more games last season? The one thing is the good about it is Reed's healthy and he's coming back. Like Reed is a really good player and he's going to be healthy now. You didn't really have him last year. So that's the one argument is you didn't have Reed last year. So could it be better? Possibly. Golden's good. But to say Golden is like, oh, it's okay we lost Wicks, it's okay we lost Dobbs, we got Golden coming. I don't agree with that.
Ooh, I'm on a completely different page from you. I think I think Golden looked awesome every time he actually had an opportunity to do anything. I think it was his lack of opportunities. And you can say, I mean, yeah, maybe they gave him lack of opportunities because guys in front of him were better in practice, whatever. But I mean, I don't know. I watched them all play a lot last year, and every time I saw Golden, I was like, damn, dude, that dude's getting open. He catches the fucking ball. He looked great. And there's a seniority thing there. Maybe that's it. But if you're also forgetting about Tucker Kraft will be back next year too. So it's like I don't think our receiving core is hurting. I think our receiving core will be better next year than this last year. But
it's like the same receiving core.
If we can have
2 players. How is it getting
better? And also we'll have them all on the field at the same time. Like Kraft and Christian Watson were never on the field at the same time last year. Kraft went down before Watson came back. And also Reed went down week 2 and didn't come back to like week 10. So it's like,
what did Kraft
will they be healthy all year? Next year? I don't know. But
ACL? Kraft tears ACL?
Yeah, but it was like tore it early enough that he'll be back for week 1.
He should be back week 1.
Yeah, but he's still a bigger guy. He's not like a receiver.
He's fine. He'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Generally, once you're over 250 pounds, that's when ACLs don't come back from always.
Yeah.
No,
Gronk tore his ACL once, and he was fine.
Yeah, Gronk was also like
Kraft is going to be fine.
Freak.
So it's Kraft.
I think he's going to be fine.
Kraft is a freak.
Just be like, Kraft is good week 1. Like he might start out slow, you know. Like again, the whole Packers team.
Kraft is going to be number 1 tight end next year.
Give them like 4 weeks. They might.
Kraft is going to be the number 1 tight end next year. It's going to happen.
He looked like he could have been last year. Like I still think there's 2 guys that are much better than him in the NFL, but I still wouldn't say like Kraft is guaranteed. Or I wouldn't say Kraft can't do it. I mean, McBride and the guy from Oakland are way better, but I should say way better. They're just better. But yeah,
unless Tucker Kraft goes before the 5th round, I'm taking him in the 5th round next year when I have my first pick.
Is that the next pick after 2?
In fantasy, he'll be gone. He was gone last year before the 5th round.
Well, I'm not going to have a first round pick because I'm keeping Jamar Chase. I don't have a 3rd or a 4th round pick. So my options are Tucker Kraft in the 2nd or the 5th.
Oh, we're totally going to 2nd round pick Tucker Kraft. You're going to talk yourself.
One of my 3rd round picks. One of my 5 3rd round picks will be Tucker Kraft.
I'm almost positive taking him. So you need the 2nd.
Fine, I'm picking Tucker Kraft in the 2nd round.
All right. So offensive skill group, we got a mixed bag. We lost 2 receivers. We didn't gain anything. We did draft a receiver, I think, too. It was like the 6th round. I didn't write it down.
Green
Bay?
Bay?
Doesn't matter. Yeah, didn't we draft a receiver again?
No.
No? None?
Cornerback, defensive lineman, edge rusher, offensive lineman, cornerback.
Oh, we got Sky Moore, though.
Yeah, Sky Moore. For special teams.
That's special teams, though. So we'll wait till that. Offensive line, Elkin Jenkins, our center for the first half of the season, who fucking sucked, got released.
He went to the Browns.
The Browns signed him to be a center, too. I was shocked.
He got the $10 million deal.
Yeah.
1 year, $10 million.
But he was a good guard. He was a terrible center.
Yeah.
And we put him at center because our center got hurt. I don't remember what happened. But anyways, he wound up being our center. And he fucking sucked the center. And when he got signed to another team, I was like, I assume he's playing guard. Then the Browns were like, nah, he's our center. I'm like, unbelievable. You would sign this guy to be a center. He sucked. He was so bad. Yeah. Wasn't he?
Yeah, he was bottom half of the league in both passing and
it was terrible. I couldn't believe it. Like when he got hurt,
it was good last
year. We got hurt. We had to rearrange our O line. I was like, holy fuck, our O line got better. because this asshole got hurt. They had to put someone else in center.
Yeah.
And then other than that, our tackle Rasheed Walker is also gone. I don't know where he went.
He went to Carolina on a $4
Carolina.
million deal for 1 year.
Okay. So yeah, I mean that was
So both
it seems
both of the offensive linemen left on like 1 year prove it deals for a total of $14 million. So I don't think Green Bay was too concerned about letting those guys go because their value on the market is nothing.
I kind of would be just because our offensive line depth is non-existent. I like our starting O-line. Like I think Morgan was a good tackle at the end of the year.
Like they must have a lot of faith in Jordan Morgan.
Yeah. Well, in the last like 3 games of the season, like Jordan Morgan was actually playing tackle because he was playing guard for like the whole fucking middle of the season.
Yeah,
and he sucked at it.
Yeah,
when they put him at tackle, those last, like,
as a tackle.
Yeah, but when they put him at tackle those last 3 or 4 games, he was actually pretty good.
Maybe that's why they let Rasheed Walker go because they
probably
have
Morgan. They're probably like Morgan can only play tackle. He cannot play guard. Like we put him at guard, we tried it. We tried to develop him there, but he couldn't do it. Tom is also a good. Zach Tom's also a good tackle. So we have. I think we have 2 good tackles.
Yeah, they re-signed him last year.
Yeah,
Zach Tom, and then they re-signed
the guy went to Sean Ryan.
Sean Ryan. They re-signed him this year.
He was like after
he'll play guard.
After Jenkins got hurt, he came to center, and he was actually like way better at center.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he's center.
Yeah, he's at center now. And then we have Aaron
Banks,
and
who's left guard?
The Samoan guy.
Vicky wants to make a public service announcement.
Bring it in.
What do you guys think of his Bobcat Pride Cup?
Bobcat Pride Cup?
Hard to see in the colors. Can I see it?
So is this Florence?
Go like this.
It's like
it's a Jesus cup.
It's a Florence Bobcat.
It's because it's green and gold. It's Packer colors. The grade school uses Packer colors.
That's the most important part. Go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go. See, and if Leo ends up going to St. Norbert, that's also going to be green and gold.
He's a Lions fan, though.
Yeah.
He knows.
Called coercion.
So
learn the error of his ways.
Yeah, Packers O-line. I think we lost depth. I think our starters, if we have the starters that we currently have, will be better than last year's starters, but the depth is severely lacking. And that kind of does worry me because how often does an O-line get through a season healthy? Like,
all 5 guys.
How many starting O-line players at the start of the season are the same guys at the end of the season on the 32 teams? Like maybe like 3, 4.
Yeah,
4
those
teams
are the ones that end up going to the Super Bowl.
I mean, kind of, yeah. But that's why I need depth. And I feel like the Packers have no depth there right now, which is honestly quite worrying.
They did take an interior offensive lineman in the 5th round out of Kentucky.
The problem with those guys always were like, hey, we'll play you at center, we're going to play you at guard, we're going to play you at tackle. And I guess maybe it worked. I can't knock the process because it works, but it's like, damn, man, just let the guy play where he plays. But the Packers do that with their O-line guys. Like, hey, play here, play there, play there. Like, you got to play all this shit before you like get your actual starting spot like 2 years later. I guess it like gives you the feel for the whole fucking thing, how to like shrug a guy off to the next guy from this side, like how he's gonna shrug it off to you. But yeah, I don't know. Packers O-line, that's a question mark for me. Skill group, not really, but that one is. Packers defensive front. So we traded Rashawn Gary to the Cowboys. Rashawn Gary, our edge rusher, traded him to the Cowboys for a 4th round pick. Is that what it was? 4th,
third or 4th.
That was a 4th. I don't think you got a 3rd. I was actually kind of shocked at what you got for him. It wasn't as much that
I was shocked it was a 4th. I think it was a 4th because I was shocked that it was a 4th. I thought maybe we'd get a 5th or 6th for him because he played like dog shit last year.
They got a 2027 4th round pick for Rashawn Gary.
4th, yeah. That's still great value, in my opinion, for Rashawn Gary.
Yeah, I agree.
So we lost Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary last year, I mean, we had to let him off the team. Like, I don't know how we could have kept him because that guy, literally, I'd watch the TV and dude, quarterback rolls to the right. Rashawn Gary gets through. Micah Parsons gets through on the other fucking side. And Parsons passes him, chasing the quarterback down. Like, Rashawn Gary looked like he did not give a flying fuck last year. So, I'm not saying Rashawn Gary was washed. Maybe in a new place, he'll have some motivation again. But it seemed like he had no energy or motivation at all to play for the Packers last year. Like, it was goddamn fucking embarrassing watching when he got through and, like, chased people down. It was like, dude,
Well, and then
just fucking try. Like, I know Michael Parsons is faster than you, but it's like, dude, he gained fucking 10 yards on you in fucking 3 seconds. That's not he's faster than you. That's you're not fucking trying and he is trying.
Well, look at this offseason when he literally must have went to social media like the second they told him he was getting traded because he wrote this fucking thing on social media like, oh, I love you, Green Bay, blah 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 blah, and then all of a sudden he's deleted it off of Twitter, and then like 3 days later he got traded to the Cowboys. Like, come on, dude, you fucking hated it here. Like, yeah, fuck you.
I'm not saying he hated it here. I'm just saying, like, he
underachieved.
He underachieved, yeah. Like, he had his rookie year. His second year was great. That's when we signed him. Then he got hurt. And then, like, he came back from his injury, and he was good. But then, like, the last 2 years, he just kind of, like...
He also scored, like...
I don't know. It seems like a lack of effort.
A bottom... He's like one of the fifth worst Wonderlic scorers ever. Before he was drafted.
Yeah, it's just a bummer.
Like, he scored, like... Just like, I don't know the high score, but I know it was in the single digits. Like, it was bad. Like, I heard that, and I was, like, pissed when Green Bay drafted him. I'm like, dude, this guy's a dumb fuck. What the fuck are they drafting him?
Well, I mean, he had a good season.
He had one good season.
That's all you need to get paid in the NFL.
That's true.
Other than that, on our defense front, Quay Walker, he's released / gone. He was one of our linebackers.
He went to the Raiders.
The Raiders.
On a 1-year deal.
We added Zaire Franklin, also a linebacker.
Yeah, he was
it's a linebacker for linebacker, but...
He was on the Eagles team when they won the Super Bowl with Jonathan Gannon as their defensive coordinator. So
yeah, so
it makes sense.
He was drafted by the Colts?
He was in the Colts last year, but the year before that, I don't know where he was. But the year before...
Was he drafted by the Colts? I don't know.
Sure,
Jonathan Gannon wanted him.
Yeah, I think he was.
Okay,
yeah. He led the league in...
I assumed he had played with Jonathan Gannon previously, because Gannon was like, dude, we need to get that dude.
Well, he led the NFL in tackles in 2024.
Yeah, Indy Colts were 2018 to 2025.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But 2025, he sucked. I mean, if I'm just looking at linebacker to linebacker, Quay Walker I prefer Quay Walker over Zaire Franklin. I think Quay Walker was fucking awesome. It sucks to lose him, but he got paid a lot. The Packers just couldn't pay him whatever he got.
I really don't think it was that much. I'll take a look, but...
And also to get Zaire Franklin, we traded Colby Wooden, who was one of our defensive tackles.
I mean, from what I've always heard,
Walker got 3 years, $40 million.
Yes, he gets a lot of solo tackles and a lot of tackles, but like he's not even that great of a player. Like he's not great in coverage, and he's mostly just kind of like a rapid guy. He's tackling people 5 yards down the field. He doesn't really make plays behind the line of scrimmage. So I was actually kind of shocked when you guys traded Wooden for him because I thought he was pretty good last year. But maybe they see something in him that other people don't.
I like Wooden.
He's a good starter because he's got a lot of history playing the last couple of years.
Well, it seems like we traded a position of weakness for a position of like we traded away one of our players that was a weakness position to get a player that was a strength position by doing this. It was like, so we made a weak spot weaker, made a strong spot stronger.
Doesn't make sense.
Ray Walker left, so it's not even stronger. It didn't make sense to me either. I didn't like it one bit.
He's also undersized. He's like barely 6 feet tall.
Yeah, I didn't like trading away Colby Wooden at all. Like, defensive tackle was one of our biggest weaknesses in the offseason. And I guess maybe we already had the plan to add Javon Hargrave because he's also a D tackle, but It was a weird one to me. I wish we could have just kept Quay. That would have been my ideal situation because I think Quay has been awesome. But
You got a pretty big.
maybe not everyone agrees,
understand
but I
why
think
they're
Quay's been pretty
good.
fucking good. I think Quay and Edgerrin were awesome. Well, they were an awesome linebacker duo. And now we got Zaire and Edgerrin Cooper instead. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, defense secondary. We released Nate Hobbs. He was a corner, but he was like a slot corner only, and we just didn't have a spot for him anymore. We picked him up in the free agency last year, I think, and then what's the guy who wound up taking that position? Hubbard or H some. Who was the guy who was better? Yeah, we got Nate Hobbs, but then like we had a guy who was on the team already who wound up being better at it, so Hobbs just it was a fuck up of a free agency acquisition, so we released him. It's fine. And then we added St. Just and drafted Cisse as 2 new corners. So our secondary was kind of a spot of concern.
Still is.
Still is. We need our first overall pick, Cisse, to be a good cornerback. And if he is, I mean, that really helps a lot. But if he's not, then we're banking on Micah Parsons and Lucas Van Ness to get to that pass, get to the quarterback within like 2 seconds.
I genuinely think that Dennis Sutton is going to be better than Van Ness. Plus, I think they're going to have Edgerrin Cooper's rush the passer more.
Then something. Dude, we have 2 other pass rushes that were pretty good last year too. I forget their names, but they didn't get to play that much.
Van Ness looked a lot better.
Fucking time.
Van Ness looked a lot better rushing out of the interior than he did the exterior last year.
Yeah, that's all he knows how to do is run forward.
Yeah,
as hard as he can. Yeah.
Are you guys even sure the Packers going to make the playoffs? You seem pretty down on these guys.
Yeah, they'll make the playoffs easily. They always do, except for like once every 5 or 6 years they miss it. But
I expected more positivity from you guys. It's been mostly negative.
Yeah, kind of. Anyway, special teams. We picked up Sky Moore, so we got a returner. Then we drafted Mr. or Senior Smack as our kicker. And we released McManus, so...
Yeah, they just released Brendan McManus.
The guy we drafted to be our kicker is officially our kicker, because McManus is gone. It's not even a competition.
10 out of 10 for the name draft, man.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's a 6th round pick? Or 7th round pick?
Biggest acquisition of the season.
We traded 2 7ths to move up a couple spots to get him.
He's in the 6th. We did not have a 7th round pick this year.
So we traded 2 6ths to move up because we moved up to get him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You wanted
we traded our 7th and our 6th to move up a little bit to get him.
That's what it was.
Okay. Yeah. So we traded 2 picks to move up a little bit to get a kicker. But at the same time, what loses us the fucking playoffs every fucking season since I've been born? Fucking special teams. So let's get a fucking good kicker who can make a fucking goddamn 30-yard field goal to win the fucking game for once in my fucking life instead of just lose the game every fucking time. It'd be fantastic. But he'll suck. Our special teams will always suck. And just have to deal with it. Gotta win by 30 every time. Not let special teams have a chance. I don't know what to say about the Packers special teams. I wish we could be good. I mean, we did do a little bit, seems like this season, to try to address it. Like we picked up an actual, returner. We picked up an actual kicker. But we've had kickers. Like even Mason Crosby was our kicker. Like we'd still fuck it up. It's like, oh yeah, well, we can kick a fucking field goal, but when it comes time to block a return, oh whoops-a-doodle, we would let them return it for 80 fucking yards, and they're on the 10-yard line to start the drive. I think it's a Packers problem.
Was Crosby the Packers kicker when they won the Super Bowl in 2010?
I don't know if he was there yet. Was he there?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because Longwell was 96.
He was
I'm
old.
pretty sure, or was that Chris Jackie?
We have had some long
No,
tenured
Longwell
kickers.
was 90. How do I know this? Longwell was 96.
Okay, that's what I thought.
How do I know these things?
So Crosby won a Super Bowl. And he was there for the next 10 years after that.
Was Ryan Longwell 96?
Yes. Or like he had to
Okay.
be right after, but I'm pretty sure he was 96. Oh, he was right after 97. So who was your kicker then?
Chris Jackie was 96.
Was it?
Pretty sure.
If
I don't
he
think
was
Ryan
wrong,
Longwell
I'm
won.
very disappointed.
Ryan Longwell was a great kicker for us, but he didn't win anything.
I thought our special teams is a unit. Like, we've had good kickers.
Like, even when Green Bay won the Super Bowl in 2010, I feel like special teams was their weak link.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
We can have a good kicker. That doesn't mean the special teams is good.
But Desmond Howard definitely was
Oh, it was Chris.
one of the main reasons they won the Super Bowl in 96.
Okay.
What was that?
Jackie was the kicker. And then he
Yes.
drafted Longwell the next season.
Jackie went on a high note.
All right. Packers, final thoughts, final comments. Jim, go ahead.
I mean, you guys are depressing.
Yeah,
I
Bill's
I
back
feel
up.
worse about the Packers now.
Hype us up.
I thought, no, I
Well,
can't.
it's
hype
that,
them up.
I mean, that wasn't. That's where I had
That's-
Green Bay going this year. So
What's low?
I
I guess way higher
mean,
than
going
that.
into it, honestly, like, I don't understand what they're doing in some of these positions. I thought they weren't going to have cap problems this year. I thought the Aaron Rodgers stuff was coming off the books, and it just seems like they're playing like they have terrible cap space. Hargrave is a decent pickup. I don't mind him. He's probably an upgrade over Wooden, but at the same time, you downgrade from Walker to Franklin. I don't know a whole lot about Franklin. Like I said, I just going off what I heard. A lot of people weren't really impressed with him. And when the trade was made, people on Reddit were just like trashing him. But that doesn't always mean anything. I like Gary more than you guys do. I know he's kind of been the guy who hasn't quite lived up to the hype, but he's still like your second best pass rusher. So just to lose him and not really have a direct replacement. Same thing at receiver. You lost two receivers, and like you're hoping Golden's going to take and be the hopefully number three. I mean, he'd probably be that, but you still have Parsons coming off an injury, so it's probably gonna be a slow start to the season. Maybe Kraft might not be 100%. And you can say the same thing with the line secondary, but I feel like with it being Parsons, that's pretty scary. However, I feel like Love proved some things last season. I still like LaFleur as an offensive mind. I'm going into it, probably putting him around like 10-7. I think it's either gonna be the Bears or the Packers in second place, the Lions, but I'll give the Packers benefit of the doubt because I like Love more than Caleb Williams.
well, your tune changed from last year.
Yeah.
You were
I
like
was funny. He impressed me
balls
last year.
deep on
I think
Caleb
he played a
Williams
lot of
last
games.
year.
Well, like I said, it was consistency. I wanted to see consistency out of him, and he played really well pretty much the whole season. I can't
That's fair.
knock it.
You can adjust your opinion given new information. We have a whole new season of information. What do you think, Heebs, of the Packers?
I've got Green Bay at 14-3 this year. I think they're on the NFC Championship game.
Woo! Can we bet on this? How much? Can I bet like my bank account? Hey, like, I'll just max out my cards right now. Come on, let's give a record.
14-3. Green Bay's going to win the division. Parsons gonna be I think they're going to lose a couple of games without Parsons, but as soon as Parsons comes back, they're not losing.
Yeah. So my Packers prediction is we're gonna lose 2 out of our first 4.
Plus, I love that Dennis Sutton pick. I love that dude.
Yeah.
He's going to come in. He's going to want to be just like Micah. I don't know. I love it. They got a cornerback out of Alabama in the 6th round. I think their offensive line is going to be fine. I think they're running it. This is the year they're going to be healthy. They're going to put it together.
Yeah.
They're going to dominate.
What does the quarterback out of Alabama in the 6th round have to do with anything? You don't even know his name.
Yeah, Domani Jackson.
Monty Jackson. Got his name
That's he's going to be a
pressed
quarterback
into my
now.
brain. He's so
Next
good.
Sauce Gardner.
I think he's going to be better than anything. He's even probably better. All he has to do is be better than Keyshawn Nixon, which honestly
This
really
is what
doesn't take
happens when your
much.
team doesn't have a 1st-round pick. You're just banking on 6-rounders being your starters.
No.
Yeah, because
Yeah, Micah Parsons instead.
Devontae Wyatt's going to be healthy. They're going to just the quarterbacks are going to run in fear of the Green Bay Packers this year.
Yeah, I think this year I'm sticking the same thing. 14-3
I
Packers.
fucking love the Jonathan Gannon hire. Love that dude.
Yeah.
He was so their defense.
I mean, he's a
with
full-on-
the Eagles was so fucking good.
Not only
It
that,
was so
he also
fucking
coached
good.
the whole team. And it's almost nice to get a guy who gets demoted.
Yeah.
Because, like, I've ran the whole shit. Now I only got to run this shit. So
Yeah.
it's so much easier for you.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I'm going 14-3 Packers.
All right.
Same as Heebs. But I think we're going to lose 2 games. I think we're going to lose 2 out of our first 4, and we'll lose 1 the rest of the
Yep.
season. Because Micah Parsons isn't going to be there probably for the first month. So I think we're going to start the season slow, 2-4. And then we're just going to go on a fucking tear.
Yeah.
And I don't see a team that can beat us. We got one of the best coaches in the NFL. We got one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. We got one of the... I don't know. I think we have a top 5 defense if everyone's healthy.
You guys just spent like an hour hating on your team and are just like 14-3. I'm good. Everything sucked this offseason. Don't care. 14. Parsons MVP. Parsons everything.
Parsons for MVP.
I mean,
Yeah, let's start that chant. Let's start that chant.
He's gonna have 20 sacks in like 10 games.
The comeback player of the year and defensive player of the year and MVP all in one season.
Yeah.
That's how good it'll be.
Is
Is that possible? Can you get all those?
Yeah.
You can double down.
Yeah.
allowed?
So, if you're
It
that,
never happened.
if he has like the greatest, if he, yeah, he would probably need like 30 sacks. But yeah, I could do it.
Probably 35. MVP, you'd have to have like 35. Right? As a
Like
defensive
Miles
player,
Garrett got
like-
what 23 last year to break the record.
Yeah.
Did he get 23?
But did he get
I know he broke the record.
But did he get
He
MVP?
got like exactly 23, didn't he?
Did he get like
That's what I thought.
what did he get, like 1 MVP vote? Like how many would you need to get the MVP votes? You would need like 35, say.
Did win MVP last year.
Stafford.
Oh, it was Stafford.
Yeah.
Okay.
You probably need like 20 plus sacks, 5 picks,
You would need like 35.
5 defensive
sacks.
touchdowns, and then
Yeah.
you would be the MVP. That
Yeah.
would be have to be a season while probably missing like 3 to 4 games. No problem.
Yeah, and only playing 2/3 of the season. For Micah, that's easy though.
Crack me up.
It's called an
He'll
average.
have a season
It's
so
called an
good.
average Tuesday.
He'll turn around and be like, "Bitch, I want 60 million a year."
All right, we're calling her there.
Yeah.
Everybody enjoy your Jameis Winston quote of the week. And goodbye.
String beans are green beans that look like strings that happen to be beans.